live picture right now from Victory Park, and as we take a look at that, it almost looks nighttime out here. I'll step out of the camera so you can go to this live and full. Pouring in downtown Dallas right now. It's exactly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it looks like it's about 8 o'clock at night. Very heavy rain in downtown Dallas is falling. We do not have any severe weather at this location in downtown Dallas, but as we take a look at a little different picture here, another picture, live picture of downtown Dallas, and as we pan off to the left a little bit, you can see how the rain continues to fall and maybe a couple of hailstones mixed in there also. This is one of our second Victory Park tower cams, and as we pan around now to the right, you can see the rain is coming down at a very, very heavy pace. And I would say, Greg, I haven't looked at any new forecast data in the last 3 hours, but right before noon, 1 to 2 inches of rain in a 30-minute window wasn't going to be out of the question.
Oh, no, not at all. A lot of heavy rain with this. The cloud-to-ground lightning as well, a big concern. In addition to what we've been dealing with, you're talking about this last line. We're not quite done yet. We are talking about still some small hail, I think, with this second line that's pushing through the area here. Still could have some gusty winds, too. So it's still going to be a while before this clears the Dallas County area.
Yeah, and this is our tower cam that's mounted on top of our tower here at WFAA. Can we zoom out just a little bit, just show a couple of landmarks in downtown Dallas? And I know it's not the smoothest camera, and it doesn't matter in this situation because it's just for storytelling purposes. That's the Belo building, I believe they're on the left, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the Omni. There's the pool on the Omni. So we're looking to the northwest. That is looking toward the northwest right there.
Kind of northeast, yeah. The corner of our building here, the northeast
corner of our building, looking to the northeast. So very heavy rain. Very heavy rain they're falling right now. And, you know, not only in Dallas County, but let's head to our Denton Tower cam right now because the rain is still falling at a very intense rate just to the east of you in downtown Denton, although not as heavy as it was 15, 20 minutes ago. Still very, very heavy rain in Denton, small hail, and to the southeast of you in Denton County, in downtown Denton, let's say southeastern Denton County, Louisville, I'm still concerned about a tornado threat there. Let's transition just to the east of there in Frisco. And I believe this is at the Dr. Pepper Ballpark, our Collin County Bureau, and you can see the rain coming down. You can almost see the waves of rain coming down there. Do we have Steve Stoller with us right now at our Collin County Bureau? We will continue to check in with our reporters and photographers that are positioned all across the Metroplex and all across North Texas for live reports. But heavy rain right now continues to fall in Collin County. Frisco right now, I'm still concerned in Frisco, and I'm still concerned in Plano for the threat of a tornado to be on the ground. So if you live in those locations, stay alert because we have some video that I want to show you right now that is coming to us. There it is in Arlington, wow. John. Gloria, this is the tornado that was that touched down earlier, and look at the debris that this tornado was picking up.
I believe Tom Lovelace, who was out and about, said that he saw this, and by the time he got out his camera and tripod, it was gone. But obviously it came back down and ripped a hole through some neighborhoods there, damaging at least 20 houses. We've got reporters out there right now. We talked to Ray Wilhite earlier in that tornado earlier in Lancaster and the Flying J. You all were talking about the damage along I-20. Evidently there were some injuries there as well as the I-20. When the day is over, Pete, the damage is going to be extensive.
It will be extensive, yes. Unfortunately, it will be.
Widespread.
Yeah, this was just sent into us just a short time ago. This is I-20 near Little Rock Road in Tarrant County, in Arlington specifically.
Little Road. It's probably Little Road, I think, in Arlington.
Right.
Yeah, I-20, it's probably Little Road. But that's the same location we've been talking about all afternoon long. You know, the
20 and Cooper?
20, yeah, around 20 and Cooper. That's a little west of that. But the interesting thing is, now we look at this, Pete, and we see these little dots of debris, and we think that they're the size of maybe a trash can lid. And those are actually probably pieces of roof.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sizable pieces of roof.
And trailers. We saw those trailers earlier.
Yeah, I mean, the debris that we look at here, you know, when you're up, 3 miles away in the helicopter, it could be an entire roof, or as you mentioned earlier, it could be a trailer that a semi pulls down the road. So.
The Medical City, our Medical Center of Arlington really is, that's just to the east of I-20 and Cooper. So it's between I-20 and Cooper and I-20 and Matlock. So talking south central Arlington, there have apparently been 2 minor injuries there. Arlington has 2, if I remember correctly, 2 rather sizable hospitals, one on the south side, one on the north side. That's the one on the south side.
Right off of I-20.
Right off of I-20, so apparently there's been some injuries at that location right now. We're, of course, trying to get some information for all that. All the damage that we have seen so far that leads to be serious, Pete, looks like it's bad stuff in the South Arlington.
And you're right, John, and we have a lot of concerns this afternoon, top of mind for all of us that have kids or our children. And Shelley, you have an update from DISD?
We actually have several updates for you, Pete. DISD now putting a shelter in place. As you just saw, that you just showed us at Victory Park, it looked like it's 8 o'clock at night. Now it's starting to get bright. It's just that awkward murkiness outside. So DISD now shelter in place. Some things are changing. Garland ISD is saying when the warning is lifted, that and only then will they let their kids out. They're going to play it by ear once the warning is lifted as far as getting the buses to the kids. Arlington ISD at our last check was putting everybody back in the shelter. They're now trying to release their kids at normal times. So if you're a parent in Arlington, you can go get your child right now. DISD, not the case. The kids are sheltered in place. Grapevine, we now know, is in lockdown. Irving ISD also still in lockdown. They will be dismissing their elementary kid students on a much more delayed process because the buses are delayed. And in Garland, as I said, they're going to play it by ear. In Carrollton, they're saying that they're holding the kids still. So the news is coming into us literally every few minutes here, Pete, as schools are trying to let out, parents are trying to figure out what's going on, and we're trying to pass that information along to you.
Okay, Shelley, thank you very much for that update. I just tried to call my wife while Shelley was doing that update, John, and cell phones aren't working where she is right now. I just got her on the home phone. Everything's okay. She said they're fine, and the kids are all at school. They're fine too, but you know, I just told her, make sure you stay at home. I don't want her leaving and getting out in these storms, and folks, I don't want you to do the same thing. All the different school districts around here, John, they're all encouraging people very, very heavily to stay home, keep yourself safe, because the kids are safe at school.
Yeah, you know what, I tell you what, let me be the blunt one. You're making a very serious mistake if you are trying to get on the roads right now to try to identify or try to go get your kids from most of these locations. A very serious mistake for a number of reasons. Number one, because you could get hurt. Number two, because they could get hurt. Number three, because your schools are probably built much better than any place where you're going to be able to take them. And number three, let's talk about the things that aren't accompanied with the initial problems with something like this. I'm talking about down power lines. I'm also talking about the trees and traffic backups, rescue crews that need to get to different locations. They're all in trouble when you're on the roads blocking those roads. So at this point, what they really need is for you to stay in place. We're trying to get you the information that your kids really are safe. Every school district with whom we've talked, every child, from what we're told, is in great shape.
They're all fine, right?
No problem
They have
at all.
plans in place for this sort of thing, and
They
so they
prepare
are
for this?
very prepared.
Yeah, on a weekly basis this time of year. You know, the Texas Rangers were supposed to play tonight, an exhibition game before the season begins on Friday. The guys were out at the ballpark, and Mike Napoli took some video that he got to us of what they're experiencing there right now. Texas Ranger catcher Mike Napoli sent us this video just a short time ago. Looks a little hectic there right now. And you can see for yourself that that's the tarp that's blowing around. And those tarps are very heavy, but when you have winds of the intensity that we've had blow through Arlington, and John, you know, it's hard to say, the tornado that we had in Arlington, the Johnson County, Tarrant County, Dallas County, Ellis County, what were the winds? Well, I think we're going to see that these winds were about 100 miles an hour or stronger. So how strong are those winds there at the ballpark in Arlington today? That's hard to say, but strong enough to take that tarp and just blow it around, which usually takes 10, 15, 20 guys to pull that thing around. So the wind gets underneath it, it lifts it up, very strong winds, very, very heavy rain, and obviously I would be shocked if they're going to play their exhibition game tonight. And tomorrow night they're supposed to play in Frisco against the Rough Riders.
That's a pretty well fortified building.